Ivor the Engine, Chapter 2. The next day, Jones the Steam went into the station master's office at Laniog. "Di," he said, I'm worried about Ivor." "Why? What's wrong with Ivor?" "Well, listen, Di. There's a good fire I've got, and plenty of steam, but I still don't reckon he's pulling right. It's just as if he wasn't well." "Well, Jones, if it's that serious, we'll just have to take him down to Pontypool Roads to show him to the chief engineer." "What? Out on the main line? Ivor's never been on the main line." "He'll be all right, I dare say, if we both go with him." It was a long way to Pontypool Roads, and Ivor felt very important as he chugged along the main line. He was a bit puzzled by all the signals on the big gantry, but the signalmen came out and waved them on, and Ivor pulled. Into the great shed where the chief engineer and his assistant were waiting to inspect him. They undid his boiler and blew through his tubes. They worked the regulator. They looked in his tank. They took his pistons apart and looked at his valves, and they tapped his little wheels with a hammer. But they couldn't find anything wrong with him. Not anything at all. "Puzzling. Very puzzling," said the chief engineer. "There's a perfectly good little engine, mechanically speaking. I've never seen a better one. It's my belief he's upset. You haven't spoken to him harshly, have you, or blamed him for something he didn't do?" "Oh, no, sir," said Jones. "We wouldn't do that. We're very fond of Ivor." "Well, you better take him home and see if you can find out what upset him. There's nothing wrong with Ivor's works." "Well, Di," said Jones to Steam on the way home, "what do we do now?" "I was thinking," said Di. "You say Ivor came over all funny yesterday afternoon at Grumbley." "Yes, that's right, Di." "Well, look, Jones, we'll have an investigation, shall we? You take the Blackstone coal down to Grumbley gasworks this afternoon instead of tomorrow. Then you leave Ivor on the siding at the same time you did yesterday. I'll meet you there by the chapel." So Jones coupled up an empty truck, and up the hill to the pit they went. "Is it coal you want, Mr. Jones?" said Mr. Pugh the pit. "What else do you have, Mr. Pugh?" We only got coal, Mr. Jones." "Then we better have coal, please, Mr. Pugh. A truckload of Blackstone for Grumbley gasworks." "But Grumbley gasworks is tomorrow, Mr. Jones." "That's right, Mr. Pugh. We're only doing it today." Went the coal into the truck. "Beep!" went Ivor, and off they went into Grumbley. By the time they had unloaded the coal at Grumbley gasworks, it was nearly 5 o'clock, and Jones went down into town to meet Di Station. "I left Ivor on the siding like I did yesterday," said Jones to Steam. "We'll wait a minute and then go back and have a look at him, shall we?" "Listen." "Listen," said Di. "What's that?" "It's the choral society practicing, I should say." "Oh, don't they sing lovely? Listen." That's my wife's uncle, the choirmaster, said Jones. Evans the Song, they call him. Well, there's distinction for you. Up on the siding, Ivor listened to the singing too. Oh, he did wish he could sing with them, but he knew he never could, because he was only a railway engine. He couldn't speak, let alone sing. The only noise he could make was a silly whistle. As he thought about it, he wept. A single dirty tear welled up in his window and fell down on the sleepers. Look, Di, said Jones. Ivor's weeping. Oh, so he is. That must be a terrible thing to make a railway engine weep, said Di. You go over and talk to him and see if you can find out what it is. So Jones went over and sat on Ivor's step. Well, Ivor, he said, I knew there was something upsetting you, but I didn't know it was this bad. Let's try and find out what it is, shall we? I'll tell you what, we'll have a guessing game. Shall we? I'll ask you some questions, and you answer 1 whistle for no and 2 whistles for yes. Now then, let's have a think, Di. You come over here and help me think. What? Me? I can't think. Well, you can have a try. Come on. Is it just that you're tired, Ivor? Beep, went Ivor's whistle. Is there something about this place you don't like? Beep. Is it the singing you don't like? Beep. Is it anything to do with the choir practice? Beep, beep. Oh, it is. Oh, it is it? Is it you want to sing in the choir? Beep, 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 went Ivor's whistle. Oh, be quiet, Ivor, back. You'll wake up the whole town, said Jones. Oh, Di, there's a strange thing. Ivor here wants to sing in the choir. Ivor, sing in the choir? I've never heard a locomotive singing in the choir. There may be regulations. Well, look, Di, we'd better go and see Evans the Song, hadn't we? After all, he is the choirmaster. So Jones and Di went down and fetched Evans the Song. There he is, Evans. There's Ivor. But Edwin Jones, it's a railway engine, said Evans the Song. I know. And why not? I don't know. Why not? No reason, I suppose. What voice is he? Whistle for the gentleman, Ivor. Beep. Is that the only note, Jones back? That's it, Evans. Evans the Song scratched his head. Well, I don't know, he said. That's a minor half-tone, and very crude, if I may say so. I don't expect we'd come across that note more than once a year, so even if Ivor did join the choir, there wouldn't be anything for him to do. Now, if that was a good bass note, we'd be glad of it. We're a bit weak in the bass since Ellie the fishmonger left. But that note, no. That might be for a Chinese choir, but not for the Grumbley and District Choral. I'm sorry, Jones. I wish I could help. That's all right, Evans. We just wondered, that's all, said Jones.